Oh baby, it's time to look at one of my most frustrating and lowest ranked screenwriting softwares, Squibler. I'm already going to tell you I had to break into a big bag of Tums after looking at this one. Oh boy. Just you wait. And before we dive deep into this, and boy, we got into some places where I didn't think we really were going to go with a screenwriting software, but we went and it was quite the rabbit hole. But let me first introduce myself. Say, hey, my name's Paul. I'm from Screenwriting Software. One of your best sources for screenwriting software is tips, tricks, reviews. And I'm also just love talking about screenwriters as well as screenplays. So if you like any of those things, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. Last year, I made a video about a new contender to the screenwriting space, Squibler. Link in the video description below. And little did I know it would go like this. So, old Paul, how'd it turn out? So Scribbler gets 6 out of 25 reels. Yeah, I don't know how to tell you, but don't pick this up. Granted, you know what software works for you at the end of the day, but the price, the lack of features, the alpha version type of feel, and lack of customer support really just turns me off on this one. So, again, 6, not a very good score. So, but what is it going to look like today as we dive back into this particular software? And again, I'm rating the software just from a screenwriting perspective. I'm not looking at it as a book writing perspective along these lines. So again, take this review just as screenwriting software. So here we are. They've done some updates. I've opened my big mouth and said, hey, when you have updates, I'll be happy to come back and look at it. So we're going to dive back in. But my friends, there is still some very sus stuff about Squibler. Stuff that I really don't trust them after looking at this in a lot of different angles. So speaking of trust, let's start at the price page. Do you see what I am seeing? $20. $20. Now you're seeing 16 because that's annual, but if we go back to monthly, $20. Boy, do they have some kahunas with that. Are you freaking kidding me? I know that some of you are saying, but Paul, if you prepay for the whole year, it's like only $192. Wait, what? The reason I think this is pretty ridiculous is because you can almost buy the industry standard final draft outright for that. At that price point, you're only $7 away from owning final draft. So what are you saying, Squibler? Is that you're on par with final draft? I know Josh, the co-founder, you think that because of your article where you rate your own product higher than final draft. I'm biased, I know. However, spoiler alert, you have a ways to go, my friend, before you enter the territory of being a really good screenwriting software. So the interesting thing about our friend Josh, who is the co-founder, he wrote on his own page talking about the best screenwriting softwares for 2024. And as we scroll down, the first thing we talk about, the first one is the number one and top rated screenwriting software that has a powerful yet easy to use text editor for screenwriters. It comes loaded with plus 30 screenwriting templates that help you to get started hassle-free. It's interesting that it says for 2024, we're at the end of 2023, and he's still not upgraded his article. But again, we will get there. And the other thing, notice too, the Pro plan went from $9.99 per month. Now it's $20, $16 if you do the annual fee. Holy Toledo. So, what happened that we went from $9.99 per month to $20 per month? So let's take a look at what we get for $20 a month. Mind you, it's one of the most expensive monthly subscriptions that I've seen for screenwriting software. That doesn't do very much, because let's take a look again at what we get with Squibler. So we get Smart Writer AI and also AI Visualize. So you have unlimited AI words, unlimited image generations. Josh, I see the route that you're going. Looking at the rest of the stuff it's pretty standard fare. You can get editors, version history, elements, sharing permissions. Nothing earth-shattering. Nothing worth $20. So we're basically paying double the price because it has AI integrated. So it's basically, instead of having to go to ChatGPT to talk to it about your script, you have it in the program. It's not worth $9.99. ChatGPT is free if you're not using the 4.0 version. Come on, Josh. So I still had access to the free version. So I'm going to log myself in right now because I have had the free version before. In the free version, you get Smart Writer, so you get 6,000 AI words per month, 5 images generations per month, 15 files, 1 project, whatever the heck that means. They're not very specific about that. So I still had access to the free version. So I ended up deleting my previous screenplay to make a new one. Since I have one project, as you can see from that, in 15 files, whatever that means, I'm not really sure. I'm assuming the files go under this part here. So I make a new project. So let's make a new project. New project. And wait a minute. It didn't ask for the template like it did in the past. So I'm confused. You know, what am I doing wrong here? It should just let me get to a template. Yeah, I made a new one, so I'm going to X out of this one. Okay, so, well, let me take a look at one of their videos. So, okay, I'm at their YouTube channel now. So the interesting thing about their YouTube channel is they have more subscribers than they did in the past and more videos they've had in the past. We'll take a look at their videos. Okay, so it looks like from this last video, which was about a month ago, it's got 32 views. I actually, you can see I ask a question. I'm not trying to be snarky, but I don't understand the point of these different files and stuff, so I asked them a question. And as you can see, Squibler is very good at not answering their questions. More on that a little bit later. But you normally see here, you see this template. You see that there's templates, and I'm not getting that. So, but the interesting thing. So in the video, it's talking from a month ago that there's this template button. So let's take a look and see if there's a template on the main screen here. So it's an untitled project. I'm going to actually go back. So I'm in the editor again. So let's go back to home. Sure. So templates. So here's the interesting thing when I went through this is that it doesn't. So like if I file and try to create a new project, it just creates a new project here. It doesn't pull up any templates for me to say, hey, see, look, it's a normal. This was what I was having a hard time with when I had first gotten back into Squibler. Is like I would just go file and ask a new project, and it wouldn't give me any new templates. So the interesting thing here is when we go back to home, this was not here when I was on trying to get ready for this particular video. Templates was gone. And so I was like, well, how am I supposed to do anything with that? I don't know if they took it offline or what they did. But it's interesting that templates are back. So that's great that templates are back. I just want to know why it was missing. There was a lot of glitches when I was using this particular program. So you might run into a problem where you have templates and you might not have templates. And so here's the other thing. So what I was concerned with was when I was in there and I couldn't create anything. I'll go back to my untitled project. What I was trying to do was to get to a screenplay. And well, right now there's no screenplay stuff here. And so I was trying to figure out, well, maybe I had to buy the program first. So I went in and bought Squibler. So here's the interesting thing about that. So when I went to go purchase Squibler, there was again a bug that occurred where it took me back to this pricing screen. So I'll take us back to that. So when I went to go buy it, what happened here was it glitched. And so the only thing I could see was this, the most popular build annually. And so everything was grayed out. I didn't see the free. The pro was the only thing that was labeled. And so I had to click around until I finally could get the monthly because I ain't paying $20. I would rather pay $20 for a month to try this versus $16 for a year. I'm not paying $192 for this stuff. So hopefully they got that glitch fixed too, because that was really hard and really weird. I've never had a program freak out like that. And maybe it's because I'm using a Mac, but that's the only thing I can think of. So eventually, I bought the program. So I bought Squibler for a month. I'll do anything for you guys, even buy a really shitty program. So then here, I'm stuck in here, and I kept trying to create a new project. So I opened a new project, and it wouldn't go back to templates. It won't allow you to select templates when you're in this. So I was like, okay, so what do I do? So then I said, okay, well, let's go back to the page and look at their help menu because it's supposed to be helpful. So we'll go into resources. So I go to their help menu, which is basically this blog. And what a freaking mess. can you tell me where I'm supposed to do stuff at? I mean, there's like so many things to click on. I'm like, all right, well, I'll click screenplay. All right, so I had to click around and finally figure out how to general screenplay. So now we're back to templates again. So that's great. How do we use a template? But see, I was stuck in this format, and I finally was just like, okay, there was a blog post that allowed me to figure out that you go up to mode, you can click on screenplay, and now you're in screenplay mode. So for the #1 screenwriting program, your new project never defaults actually to screenwriting. It defaults to book writing. I'm like, okay. It just seems odd that a screenwriting software, the #1 screenwriting software. Remember, we saw Josh's article that said that he was the #1 screenwriting software of all time. Let's take a look at that again. #1 best screenwriting software for 2024. Doesn't even start out as a screenplay when you write a new project. Doesn't even start out as that. Okay, I'll settle down. Well, I can see that you didn't listen too well to my last video. What is the font in? So again, the default font is Laura. I mean, Josh, Mr. Co-founder, you wrote books before. It says so in your bio for the website. Surely you could appreciate that screenwriting tends to go with certain font. Courier, or some family of Courier, has a size of 12. Why is this so hard? For $20, I would think that you would be able to get this small detail right, especially when you are a writer. You should have this right. When you default to screenwriting mode, you should automatically be in Courier, not this thing here, whatever that is, and not in 11 font. I don't know why this is so hard. Again, so besides this mess up here with the font, let's also look at, there's something very interesting in how you download. So you can download as a PDF, a text file, a docx file, or a Kindle file. Those seem very odd to be able to download in terms of screenplay writing. I could see like a final draft one, but this doesn't make any sense. The PDF, sure, that makes sense. The other interesting thing too is when you try to upload files, you can only take text files. You can't download a final draft file. So this thing is like really not compatible with working with any other type of screenwriting software program you have other than a text file. There's something really up with this. It doesn't feel like a screenwriting software program. And maybe that's the problem. Squibler is not really a screenwriting software program. Do you know how I know that? Well, let's take a look at Josh, their co-founder. Let's take a look at his page. And so again, Josh Fector is who it is. So let's take a look on Facebook and look at him. So this is Josh's Facebook page. How do you like the introduction? I build companies. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's great that Josh is into making companies and creating products. What I think ticks me off a little bit is that he's a little disingenuous with the truth. You know the article you wrote about Squibler being one of the best screenwriting programs? Funny, he has a graphic on his Facebook page which says Squibler, book writing program. So let's go down to that particular graphic here. So as you take a look here, we can see Squibler, book writing software, how to write a book. Last time I checked, book writing is not the same as script writing. This will explain why he doesn't know that Courier is the correct font and not whatever font he likes to leave it in. It would also explain why Squibler is set up to write books and why you have to find the hidden button to turn it into screenwriting software. The other thing that bugs me about our friend Josh is that he's most impressed with how many people come by his site due to his ability to generate SEO versus the fact that he has a great product. As we see, Josh has a Facebook page that's pretty well followed and stuff like that. But what about Squibler? What have they done for Squibler? Well, here's Squibler's page. 8 likes, 8 followers. Probably everybody within the company. I'm like, holy cow. When's the last time they posted anything was September 12th. Nothing of very much consequence or very much, it doesn't look like they're doing much with this particular thing. So one thing about our co-founder Josh, which makes me a little more nervous about Squibler and some of the ethics behind it, is that the link for Josh's Twitter goes to a completely different Josh. So here we go. Josh Fletcher. who is a reporter in Texas. One says they live in Texas. The other, which we saw on her Facebook, says they live in California. Obviously, they're not the same person. And after doing a little more digging, I did find the right profile. I think it's probably an honest mistake, but it shows how much this brand is not worried about the important details, but just throwing out a half-baked idea and trying for a cash grab. This is my feeling about using the editor in Squibler. I thought it was interesting when it first introduced me to looking at the interface that it had me create a generative text before it would let me begin writing on my own. It feels like this program is designed to use AI to do all the writing so that people can get products out fast as possible. Hence, this is why they want customers to create millions of books. Maybe it's because I think AI is supposed to be a writing partner and not the main writer. I am happy if you disagree with me on this, but I think this is where I am right now in my writing journey. I think AI is a powerful tool, but the way Squibler markets it, it just feels a little slimy. Now, if you're a screenwriter, I would avoid this thing like the plague. There are too many red flags for me to tell you to try even the free version. So what do you think? Have you used Squibler before? How do you feel about using AI and using AI to basically just pump out material? Well, until the next video, write well and live well.